folks, this is Franco. Today's story that you're going to be reading or hearing is Molly and the Crying Ghost. Just to let you know, I'm the one who wrote the story. And at first, you're going to hear some reading intros about what's going to happen and what you'll be hearing throughout the story. About the page turning and all that stuff. So, without further ado, let's get started.
Hello, my name is Franco. I'm going to tell you a story from the storybook that you got. To turn the page, you must hear this. If you hear that, that means turn the page. Have fun with the storybook. Molly and the Crying Ghost by Franco. Warning! This is a sad story. What happens when a parent sees their kids cry because they had a nightmare? Do they ask their kids about what kind of nightmare they had? Would they give their kids a hug? Or would they tell their kids that there is nothing to worry about? Maybe they would cheer their kids up. Or do they just tell them that nightmares are not real? One night, there was a little girl named Molly, who was 2 years old, and she was very friendly. Later, after dinner and bath time, it was time for Molly to go to bed. Her mother put Molly in her bed, said goodnight, shut off the light, and left the room. After the mother left the room, Molly closed her eyes and fell asleep. In her dream, Molly was in a room where it was empty and there was sad music playing in the distance. Molly tried to search for the music since she does not know where it was coming from, but she could not find anything. Molly was all alone in the room since there was nobody. When Molly started moving, the music in the distance was playing and it sounded really sad. Then suddenly, there was a sound coming from the corner of the room. Molly went to see what that noise was coming from. As Molly got closer, she saw a female ghost crying in the corner. This made Molly feel so surprised that she stood back. But the ghost did not attack Molly, since she just stood there in the corner crying. Molly walked slowly up to the ghost and began to speak. "Hello, what's your name?" Molly asked. The ghost turned around. "My name is Ellie," said the ghost. "What is your name, little girl?" The ghost asked. "Molly," Molly said. Molly seems to be worried about the ghost. "Why ghost crying?" Molly asked. "I am crying because my husband died from a bad disease," Ellie replied in a crying voice. After hearing what Ellie said, this made Molly feel sad and sorry for her. Then, Molly saw the grave that has a name saying Dave Jackson. The grave showed the year that Ellie's husband was born and the year he died. Ellie told Molly how she died as well. After hearing this, Molly was very sad. "Molly hug ghost?" Molly asked. This made Ellie want to cry again. "Yes," said Ellie in a sad voice. "Okay, come here," said Molly, as she hugged the ghost tightly. Then, Ellie started crying again, but this time, Molly was crying as well. Meanwhile, Molly's mother woke up from the sound of Molly crying. So, she rushed to Molly's room and saw Molly crying in her sleep. The mother woke Molly up and her crying stopped. Molly looked around and could see that she is back in her room. Then, she saw her mother standing near her. "Are you okay, sweetie?" Molly's mother asked. "Mama, Molly had a bad dream," said Molly in a sad voice. "Why? What happened?" Molly's mother asked. "Molly had a dream where Molly was in a room where it was dark, empty, and had music in distance. Then, Molly saw a female ghost named Ellie crying in corner of room because of husband being dead. Then Molly and Ellie hugged each other and started crying," said Molly. After Molly's mother heard what Molly said, she felt very sad and sorry for Molly. "Sweetie, that is the most saddest dream Mama ever heard," said Molly's mother. Her heart sank with sadness, but she brushed it off. "Don't be upset, Molly. It was only a dream. A ghost would never show up and start crying near you. Mama will always protect you," Molly's mother said. "Would you like a hug before you go back to sleep?" she asked. "Yes," said Molly. "Okay, come over here," said Molly's mother. Then, Molly grabbed her mother and started crying again. Molly screamed in a crying voice. "Calm down, Molly. It's okay. Mama is here," said Molly's mother. Later, after Molly stopped crying, she told her mother that she is now fine. Then, Molly's mother placed Molly back in bed, said goodnight, shut off the light, and left. Then, Molly went back to sleep.
Alright, folks, that's the end of chapter 1. So, we're going to take a break because the whole entire story is very long, so we'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. So, now we're gonna be moving on to chapter 2. So, whenever you're ready, if you're ready and I'm ready, let's get started.
The next day, it was time for Molly to get ready for school. She got dressed, had breakfast, combed her hair, and gathered her book bag. Molly then got in the car, and her mother took her to school. When Molly got there, her mother dropped off Molly and her brother and her sister named Marcus and Marcy. Then she left. "Come on, guys," said Marcus. "It is time to get to class." "We are coming," said Marcy. Molly was still thinking about her dream that she had last night, but she kept it in her mind. When Marcus, Marcy, and Molly arrived in class, they sat down. Before the teacher started class, she saw Molly looking very pale. "Molly, are you okay?" the teacher asked. "Molly, fine," Molly replied. At this moment, Marcus and Marcy were worried about Molly, even though they don't know what's wrong with her. The teacher cleared her throat and began teaching class. She started off with math, then continued with science. When Molly answers the questions correctly, she was rewarded with a good grade. But when Molly says the answers, her voice was low and pale. When Marcus and Marcy saw this, they were more worried than before. The teacher was concerned about Molly and asked her if she is okay. Molly told the teacher she is okay, and the teacher then continued on to the next subject. Meanwhile, it was time for lunch, and everyone was in the cafeteria eating their lunch. Molly ate her lunch fast, which surprised Marcus and Marcy. "What is up with Molly?" Marcy asked. "I really don't know," Marcus replied. Then, it was time for recess. During recess, Molly was having fun playing with her friends on the swing set. Then, later, it was time for music class. When Molly and the others were there, she suddenly remembered something. She remembered the music that was playing in her dream. After the kids finished singing the song, Molly told the teacher that she knows a song in her dream from last night, and then asked the music teacher if she could sing it for her and the others. The music teacher said that she could let her sing it. As Molly started singing the song from her dream, it sounded really sad and beautiful to everyone. This made the music teacher play that song on the piano, and Molly began singing it, and the teacher began playing it on the piano. After performing the song, everyone started crying with sadness and joy. Molly then remembered the name of the song and told everyone that the song was called I Lost the Life of a Person. Everyone was surprised by this, but then Molly started feeling even more upset because of her dream. Later, after music class, it was time for art class. Everyone got their supplies with them, and the art teacher chose the picture that the kids should draw. Molly, Marcus, and Marcy finished drawing and showed them to the teacher, and he gave them a perfect score. Then, Molly asked the art teacher if she could draw a picture which explains about her dream and make it a storybook and show it to the class. The art teacher allowed Molly to perform her dream drawing presentation. Then, everyone was ready to see the pictures, but then time was up and it was time to go back to class. "Molly, present picture at regular class time," said Molly. "Okay," said the art teacher, and allowed Molly to take the pictures that she drew with her. When Molly and the others got back to class, it was story time. The teacher picked out a book to read for the kids and started reading it. After reading the story, Molly told the teacher that she would like to tell a story about her dream from last night, and she also told her teacher that Molly has some pictures to show while telling the story. The teacher allowed Molly to tell her story. Before Molly began, she suddenly started having tears falling down on her face, but she wiped them off, placed the pictures on the stand near the chalkboard, and began telling the story. Molly Dream starts off with Molly in dark and empty room. Molly walking around in room and heard music in distance. Then, Molly heard noise in corner of room. Molly went to check it out, and when Molly got closer, Molly saw a female ghost crying in corner. Molly asked her ghost's name, and her name was Ellie, and Ellie cried because of dead husband, which made Molly feel sorry and upset. Molly then asked if Molly could hug Ghost, and Ghost allowed Molly to hug Ghost. Then Ellie and Molly started crying again. And that was the story of my dream, said Molly. This surprised the others. Marcus and Marcy were shocked and surprised by this, and they were sorry about Molly's dream. Molly started crying again because of how she feels. After school, it was time to go home. Everyone came out of the school and went home. When Molly, Marcus, and Marcy got in the car, the mother, named Sarah, asked the kids how school went, and the kids told her that it was great, but there was something strange that happened. They told Sarah that Molly told them the story about her dream, and how they and the others felt about the story. Sarah was surprised by this, and then began to wonder why Molly was still worrying about it.
Alright, folks, I think that's the end of chapter 2. So, we're going to take another break. So, stay tuned. Alright, folks, this is the final chapter, which is chapter 3. So, let's get started.
Later that night, the teacher and the rest of the classmates were invited to Molly's house for a big dinner. When the teacher and the classmates arrived, Molly, Marcus, Marcy, and Sarah showed up. Sarah called her husband and her old son downstairs. "Hello," said the father named Mike. "Hi," said the old son named Jared. "Hello," said the teacher and the classmates. 15 minutes later, the big dinner began, and everyone started eating a lot of food that was on the table. Meanwhile, after dinner, everyone was about to play games when suddenly a noise sounded in the corner of the basement. As everyone got closer, they were surprised to see a female ghost in the corner of the basement crying. Molly went up to it and asked her if she was all right. "Hello," said Molly. The ghost paused her crying and turned around. "Hello there," said the ghost. "Who are you?" the ghost asked. "Molly," said Molly. "What's your name?" Molly asked. "My name is Ellie," the ghost replied. At this moment, everyone was surprised. Even Molly was surprised as well, since she saw the same ghost that was from her dream. The others were surprised to see the ghost from Molly's dream. "Why ghost crying?" Molly asked. Ellie then told Molly that her husband died from a bad disease. Molly and the others were shocked. Molly then saw the gravestone with the husband's name on it, with the year he was born and the year he died. Then Ellie explained how she died. After that, this made Molly so upset that she started crying. This made Ellie start crying as well. Then Molly went up to Ellie and hugged her. "Molly, sorry about Ellie's husband," said Molly in a crying voice. "It's okay," said Ellie in a crying voice. At this point, Marcus, Marcy, Sarah, Mike, Jared, and the others now felt bad for the ghost and for Molly. "I cannot believe I am seeing Molly crying," said Marcus. "It's just terrible," said Marcy. Then they began hugging Molly and Ellie, and they started crying as well. The classmates were surprised to see this. Sarah went up to the kids and the ghost and tried cheering them up by giving them a hug. Soon after the big dinner, it was time for the teacher and the classmates to go home. After the others left, everyone went to bed and fell asleep. Molly had the same dream, but this time it was more scary. The dream Molly has is that she was being chased by a demon ghost, but then she was saved by Ellie. When Molly woke up, she told her mother about it, and she was surprised. Then she told Molly it won't happen in real life, and they went back to sleep. The next day, Sarah was getting things ready for the party that is was for the neighbors to celebrate for being good and for company. Then, later that night, when everyone was singing, there was a loud scream coming from the basement. This made everyone stop singing. Sarah went to go investigate, and when she did, she was shocked to see Molly getting attacked by a demon ghost. "Mama, help Molly!" Molly screamed. "Don't worry, Molly! Mama is right here!" Sarah screamed. Then, she and Molly ran upstairs to warn the others. They were all shocked to see this, but then Ellie, the ghost, shows up and saves Molly and her family from the demon. Ellie kills the demon with magic, and the demon disappeared. Molly and the others thanked Ellie for saving them. She then spoke to everyone, including Molly. "Don't worry, folks. I will always be here if you need me. And Molly, you are the cute and most adorable little girl I have ever met," said Ellie. "Ellie, nicest ghost Molly ever met," said Molly. Then Ellie left. Later, it was time for everyone to go to bed. When Molly sees Ellie, she waves at her and says hello. And when she is asleep at night, Molly dreams she could be a ghost, just like Ellie. And Molly lived happily ever after. The end.
Alright folks, that's it. So, in case you were wondering what happened, well, when I turned the page to the poem, I was a split second late, but it's okay. Sometimes I'm not perfect. So, well, that's all for now. Bye-bye now.